Hi everyone. This is the beginning of videos to start off our Prosper Engineer Robotics workflow. This is a progression from past years. So this is our growth in our program management. We started with timelines, Gantt charts, skill matrix, and now we are in a full-blown workflow, which is exciting for our large organization. Everybody will need to go into Slack and set up their Slack so that the workflow is able to work for our entire season. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to log into your Slack. You will have either an app on your phone, or if you are on a desktop or laptop, you can log in through the web browser and it will open up a desktop app so that you can see your dashboard here. So you should see this as your screen. We're using a student as an example here. So we can set up your Slack and you can get everything that you need for the season. So you're going to click on these three dots, which is our preferences for Slack. You're going to go to Customize Navigation Bar. And here you're going to see a list of preferences. You're going to start off with notifications. All new messages should be set on your Slack. If you set it to only direct messages, mentions, and keywords, you will not know what's going on in the other channels and anything that is happening from the season because you may not be directly tagged in something. So being able to get that information is going to be important for you to keep up. If you use different settings for your mobile device, let's say you use a mobile device during school hours and you want to keep your notifications different, then you can set up different notifications here. You also want to you can click on or off for notifications for huddle starts, and I would definitely keep notify me about replies to threads I'm following on, so that way you know of any updates in any threads that you are involved in. You can scroll down and it has more personal preferences, but these are the ones that we will need to have on for our workflow. The next tab is navigation. This is going to show what's on this side. And as you can see, it gives you visual notifications. So you're going to want certain settings on. The home one is automatically on. DMs is clicked on. Activity. And the reason that DMs is clicked on, even though we do not use DMs in our organization, is because Slack will send notifications if you have been assigned to a task. And that will be in our third video, how students will be assigned and mentors and coaches will be assigned to tasks, and you will get a link through that DM through Slackbot for those. So that's why that has to stay clicked on. You don't need templates on or automations on. Huddles can be clicked on. You can see when a huddle is happening. As we get further into the season, we may wind up with huddles because of, let's say, we get frozen out, or there's snow days, or for whatever reason, if for over extended period of time we need to meet. So we may have to do some huddles. That are coach approved and sponsored. So you might want to keep that on for reminders. List definitely has to be clicked on. That's where our activity lists are going to come in, and you will see that in the third video coming up. The rest is optional, up to y'all. If you want to see files, channels, the people, or any, you won't need any external because we don't have any external workspaces on our Slack. The next one is the home button. It will show you show a dot on the home icon when there's unread activity. Definitely keep that clicked on. Always show in the sidebar unread threads and drafts and sent. If you are drafting a message that is to be sent during Slack work hours, which is before school, after school, and not after 10. Then here is where you can click your drafts and change your scheduled time or edit your message. Make sure you have all your conversations clicked on so that you know what is happening. Alphabetically is probably the best because all your channels will stay organized. We have our channels in what's called chapters, so that way there's a natural order to these channels, and our Slack will stay clean. So you will see here that unread messages will go to the top. Welcome back. And so we are on part two, which is the new addition to our workflow, and this will apply to everyone. At any given time, a coach, mentor, captain, team lead, project lead, task lead will be assigned a task, and I will walk you through what that looks like. We have meetings with our coaches and our captains and our mentors once a week. And during that time, we go to Talent HQ. And for those of you who don't know, Talent HQ is our headquarters. It has everything that we need, or hopefully anything that we need to look up. We go to weekly agenda, and everybody has access to these viewable. And we go to this week's agenda. If you need to look at prior week's agendas, you can go into the archive. And during that week's agendas, we set the tone and the needs that we have as a team for that week. As we go down, we go to the program manager. The program manager, whenever there's a task that needs to be added, will add a row to that task. And we're going to use row 39 as an example. And so we're going to assign a student to this task, and this will be created. A link will be created, and then deadlines and timelines will be set. In the program manager, what's in green is the start, the progression, and the end date on this light green bar. So you can see the drive team tryouts will start 9 December and we'll go through 19 December. So at that time, what will happen is a task will be sent out to the lead person. So a Sith Lord and a captain will, I'm sorry, a Sith Lord and a mentor will be in charge of that task. So we go, once that is created, the person in charge of that activity list will get a link with a DM. That link will pull up the activity list. That person who is in charge of that activity will then fill in the rest of that activity task and assign the additional people. So here you would assign your lead. And the first task will be develop training plan. And this is usually set up by the program manager, and it will give you a description of what we want you to do in this task list. You can change the look. I like table personally because you can fill in the fields directly. And then you have the progress in different cards here, not started, in progress, done, and overdue. So you will click in and type in your task. You will type in the description. You will type in a due date, which is set up in the program manager already. So you go back and then you already know what your dates are going to be here and here. And then you can assign somebody. When you assign somebody to a task, they will receive a notification in the activity section, and that's automatically through Slack. Just like whenever somebody is assigned to create an activity list, they get a DM. Anybody assigned to the activity list will be in the activity. And so you will see that here in your sidebar. So once that is created, you can also open this sidebar and type in what you need. The fields are already here, the ones that are absolutely necessary, the assignee, due dates, what kind of category we are in, and which robot. Sometimes it could be all, sometimes it could be none, sometimes it could be one. The reason these categories exist is so that they're easier to sort by. So if you're looking for a specific robot and a specific task, then you can go directly into the search and be able to find those in those fields. You can add comments. You can save your view, you can do all kinds of nice things in here, but this is how the lead of that activity is going to run their activity. So in this case, Luke will set up the drive team tryout. He's not really, this is just because I have access to his account, and will set out those tasks. It's just like Millie will set up the task for the FLL team mentoring meeting and will assign people to that task, and the assignees will get an activity alert here. Now, for those of you who are assigning assignees, please make sure that you're not assigning an entire team or an entire list of people. You want your assignee to be the person responsible for the beginning and end of that individual task or people. So it could be two or three. But if you assign everybody on your team to one task, that task is not going to get done. The idea is that people know exactly what they're doing and they have a beginning and an end and they know what their goal is and how to accomplish it. And that way we can keep track of what the next thing is so that we can move on into our season. Okay, so once the whoever the leader of that task is comes in, they're able to change the status. Assignees are not able to change the status, and we'll go over that in video 3, what your Slack looks like if you're an assignee. But if you're a lead, task lead, captain, coach, or mentor, you are able to change the status. And once that status changes, it will send a notification to whoever's in that assignee position or in your tab. So which it would be your mentor or even potentially your captain, whoever is up here, they will get a notification of the status change. And then the following week, what we'll do is we'll be able to update the program manager. And that is the end of the workflow for those who are assigned to setting up activity lists. Okay, so now we're on the third video and the last one, and it has to do with assignees. So to recap, what will happen is during the week, we will have a meeting on our weekly agendas. We will decide what needs to happen during the week, and by we, I mean captains, mentors, and coaches. Once that is approved through our head coach, then it will be assigned in a row as a tasker, and the people who are in charge of those activity list tasks will be here and will be assigned the activity task. Once they are assigned, they will receive the link that has been shared through Slack for your activity list, and you will then populate it with how you want the activity done and who you assign it to. And let's say you are Luke, and Luke is no longer the lead, but he is now an assignee to Drive Team Tryout. So what will happen is in Slack, he will receive a notification that he has been assigned. Once you have been assigned, you can open that task and add comments and see what you need to do for that task. So you can click on it here in Slack, or if you want to go to the program manager and click on it here, you'll be able to do that too, and it'll open. And this will be the task that you've been assigned to. Those who have been assigned can only make comments. So if there is something that you've done and you want to pass on to your lead, then you can open and add your comment. And if you need your status to change, you will comment here and your lead will be able to change that status. For those who are assignees, you will be in a view only situation and you will have to request edit access if you want to edit anything, but we won't do that unless we have to pass on a task to a different team lead or a different activity lead. Um, your team lead here is Joe, apparently. And then you will always have a mentor assigned to every activity that will be in charge of that activity. And those are designated at our meetings. So if y'all have any questions, I know these videos are short and there will be some that will pop up. Please ask in the comments or go ahead and ask it in the channels in Slack and be happy to help you out. Hope this helps and I'm excited for the season.